My goodness. I'm sorry, everyone. I have no idea why that's happening. However, when you're working with upstairs, you never know quite what's going to happen. So today is Thursday. It's the 3rd of September, 2020, and we are here to receive a message from Cosmic Sai Baba and Andromeda Barrow. So with great love and respect in our heart, we are calling upon Cosmic Sai Baba to open the doorway to Andromeda. Thank you. Oh, I am here, my dear, and I am very pleased to be here. It gives me great pleasure to be here this day, for you have been organized to actually celebrate, shall we say, the day of the Lion's Gate opening. And this is something that I would like you to work with, and with your scientist friends. If they will assist you, it would be good. Because we have said many times that Uluru is an asteroid, and it has come from the south, which is readily understood and known by your indigenous elders, the clever ones, and they have been saying this down through the ages. And so, with great love, I would like now to hand over this meeting to Andromeda Barrow. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this little noise again. Not quite sure what it is. I'm asking to believe that it's somehow connecting with us to Andromeda. A bit like radio stations, I think. If you just bear with me, she'll be here in a moment. I am Andromeda Barrow, and indeed I am very happy to be here. And we have connected. We wanted to show you with a little more technology to show how it does happen, and it can happen, and we would like your scientists to understand this. And I am Andromeda Barrow, as I have said, and so I am very pleased to be here. And the messages that we have been given over the years now have been very pleasurable, and I have enjoyed it very much. And I will talk from time to time. It will not necessarily be regularly like it has been, and then sometimes more often. Valerie will be in touch with us and communicating, so you always know when we are ready to send a message. So, my dear people, our loved ones, our family, if you can accept and understand that. I would like to remind people there has been an online conference put together by your friends, Evan and Stephen Strong, who have put a conference on, organised, and have been very successful just this last Sunday in Australia, and talking about your alien ancestry. And of course, that's what is Valerie about. Valerie is an ancestor of mine. And I speak from 6,000 years ahead of where you are receiving this message. And it is not so different, really, from you communicating with others around your own Earth. And there's different time differences. It's day on one side of the hemisphere and night on another, and there's different times. For instance, if Valerie is talking to someone in the United States, it's quite often 17 hours difference, and yet you can communicate face to face, and there is no time to worry about. And I will remind you, there is no distance either. And so time and distance doesn't happen in the sense that you can communicate through consciousness at any time. In other words, it is all happening at once, and that, I am saying, is from the past, from the beginning, shall we say, of this planet, and much later into the future. However, we are dealing with a time now that is for you. And as Cosmic Sai Baba had said, he wants everybody to think seriously about the time the Leonine race brought Uluru, the asteroid, to this planet. It was, as has been said by many light workers, about the opening of the Lion's Gate on the 8th of the 8th, 1988. However, it happened long before that. The energy that's coming onto this earth is gradually lifting the energy plus the consciousness of everything upon your planet, including the people themselves, the humans. And there are some subjects that you could not even mention, say 5 years ago, and they would not accept it. But I think most people are beginning to accept the existence of star people, for they exist. There are many, many races in other, not just your universe, but other universes as well. And it has been said that you can eventually graduate so that you do not need technology to enable you to communicate from the different universes. All it requires is you to have an intent to focus on a specific time, shall we say, that has passed or in the future, and you can be there. But not everybody has that ability as yet, and certainly Valerie says she has not. However, it is possible. That is what I am saying to you all. So be open, but be careful, and make sure that you are always operating from within your heart, or your gut feeling, which is all that same area that is connected to your soul consciousness, which is the doorway to your oversoul and who you really are in the, shall we say, a container that holds your consciousness and the small group that you belong to. It is not just you. You have a family, very close, one that experiences every emotion, every thought, and every bit of knowledge that you have within you. So if you follow that guidance from within your heart, you will always be given what is right for you, because everybody upon this earth is different, but they all lead to the same point of love and compassion in the force field of what you would say is divine love and compassion, as I have just said. But some call it God. Some have a reason to not think about God because other things have happened to them in other lives in the name of God, but nothing to do with God, and so they're very suspicious and do not like that word very much. However, if you see it as the creative force of all, of everything, you can then begin to understand where you have come from, why you are here, and where are you going once you leave your earth body here. For you all have a light body, and that was given to you at a certain evolution of your human earth body rather. It has been a gradual evolvement over many, 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 many years. And there was a time that it switched from, shall we say, the animal man to the light man. And that is your missing link for the human that you really are. Hue meaning light or colour. And that's what you are. That lives on. It is eternal. And it has many stories. And those that are of use to you to know while you are here in an earth body and a light body, it is given to you. You can communicate with that aspect of yourself, your soul consciousness, which is much bigger and larger in knowledge and understanding, knows so much more about you than you readily understand or remember in your earth body, in the brain. never destroyed. And that is science. So there's many things in the non-physical phenomena that can be understood even in a scientific way. So I would like now to ask if you have any questions. Questions? My helper is asleep.
Okay, question number 1. Were there giant humans living on Earth? And if so, who were they and why were they here?
Well, you were asking if there were giant beings. Understand from where they come from. It's just natural and normal for them. It's only when you start comparing them with another race you see the differences. And yes, they were a lot larger than the human race that had developed upon this planet. It wasn't all that long ago that they were here. They came from places like Mars, but they also came from others. They're giants. Your indigenous people have a memory of the black giantess they call Gulagaya, and they know her to be one that's still here in her aspect of who she really is. And I would like to remind everybody that they are only aspects, when I say only, they are aspects of their true selves, who they are in the world of light. So remember that. Getting back to giants, yes, they did exist. Quite some time ago. It's very hard to say times within your planet because there are scientists that measure in a different way to what we measure in the world of light. So if you can accept, it was a long time ago. And they did mate with the humans at the time also. That is the influence that you have with many, or not many, but quite a number of humans that are really quite tall. They have inherited that height and the difference in the average height of the human. And it goes the other way also in smallness of people. So just keep that in mind. You have many, many influences from the stars. It is ancient at times and not so ancient. 300,000 years ago, there were star-feeding people that came from Venus. Now you could look at Venus and think people don't live there. But at different layers of consciousness they do. And so this is the thing. Understanding at what dimension you are looking or studying, because the earth eyes are limited. They do not see everything as it is. And if you wanted to see the full picture, you can start to see if you think of your eyes that are inside eyes, shall we say. The same eyes that you can see from your soul consciousness that exist when you dream. That is just an example. But in your imagination also, you have those eyes. So you can be conscious or you can be asleep. Either way, they are there. And I would like you to think about that. Give some serious thought and study about it. There is a lot already on your internet. All you need to do is your search engine and ask the question that you feel you're being prompted to ask, and you will find some information. Now, whether it is correct or not is the important thing. To just listen to your heart and connect to the larger being that you are in a light body and ask, is this connection, is this information correct? And if it isn't, just put it aside and continue your search. It is a very good idea to ask for assistance because there are many, many people helping everyone on this earth. So if you ask the angel if you like, or your guidance, or even your creator, ask for help in your search, and it will be given. Because from the science what can help is what we ask. They're not allowed to come in and break the universal law. They just come in and take over. That is not the universal law. So I am telling you, yes, there are giants. At first they were rather warlike, but not anymore. That has passed. So if you want to ask any more questions, I would suggest that you write to Valerie on her website. The contact address for her email is on there, and you can ask from that point. She would prefer emails, if that would be all right. Thank you. So is there another question?
Yes, there is. Cosmic Sai Baba has asked us to bring up Uluru as an asteroid. He said there was more information about that.
Well, there has been a lot given of information about this phenomena. When Valerie was given a sacred Algorithm stone that belonged to the Indigenous Australian people, they say it came from the stars. They also said that she had the information within her that was given, and also about Uluru. So I could suggest that you, I'm just thinking, there are some books I believe that she has from like a diary when she first sat with that stone. It was quite wonderful for her. She told me in 1994, so it's a while ago. At the time, she had it given to her, and the link was that they had named their property Altringo and hoped they weren't offending Indigenous people. And then somebody brought a stone to her that the original person that had found it was an African Camellia who actually lived at the time of the early settlement of the white people. And he was operating a camel in the central of Australia, selling things. But he saw this light coming from a cave, which is called Cave Hill. It's about 100 kilometres from Uluru, and that is where the stone was found. So in a way, it was part of Uluru. I never opened it. I knew I shouldn't. I knew it was men's business, that particular stone. And so we have gone on to understand more. The stone itself has been returned to the clever people in Alice Springs. And so there is a lot that was given at the time that Valerie sat with that stone. So it sounds like I am promoting books. I don't like it to come that way, but it is information that has been shared. And if you want to know more, I would suggest that you write to Valerie, if that's okay. That story has been repeated in her Star Lady book also. So either one, the story is available in part 2 of the Star Lady book. Now, we are told by Cosmic Sai Baba, and I am told because I work with him in Andromeda, that it's a very important step in the evolution of the knowledge that's given to the humans that lived on the planet Earth. That Uluru was brought to this planet by the race Leonine, as he has said. There was a war because the reptilian or reptoid dinoid people had taken over the planet. It had not been officially agreed to at all. And then they went ahead and did a whole lot of experimentation under the shadow of the Draco people, and it became a little out of hand. It was unfortunate because the whole design of the planet was to replace another that had been attacked and destroyed, which is part of the asteroid belt in your solar system. And so with this new planet, the hierarchy that exists in Andromeda has actually decided that another planet be created of light, divine light, and only with beings upon it that carried that divine light as holding that in that very dark corner of the arm of your Milky Way. And there's a lot more story to that too, which has been written. And again, I do not like to promote books, but it was written. And Valerie is the first to agree that she had a lot of help from many people, humans that remember being star people, and that particular event that took place when man was raised from the animal man to the light man. And that is available. So you can read that story, and it is called Outringa, who also oversaw the whole thing and brought the people to Valerie to regress into a spontaneous regression to tell the story from their point of view. So it was all put together in one story. It may sound like science fiction to those that have not accepted the existence of star people, but whether you have or not, it will help you to remember many things. They said upstairs, everybody in the galaxy knew about what happened when the mothership was attacked. That had brought 50,000 star people from the Pleiades, and it was destroyed, even though it was on its way to a meeting that was going to be a handover meeting of the planet from the reptilian Draco people to the Pleiadians and Andromeda and all those star people that connect to the planetary nations that are trying to work and help with the evolvement of your planet Earth. And so there is quite a lot of people out there wanting to help, and all you need to do is ask. But just make sure that it's coming from within your heart. It will feel good. It will feel like love and compassion, and you will know that you are receiving the right messages. There are many out there that can help you. And so I will take my leave